What outrageous crypto forecasts does Jim Cramer have for 2024? The polarizing CNBC stock picker is well known for his bold market calls. His latest crypto predictions question the consensus by projecting more pain ahead while paradoxically warming up to Bitcoin. Welcome back to Digital Financial Freedom. Could Cramer be off base with his gloomy crypto outlook just as institutional adoption accelerates? Or will betting against Cramer's forecasts once again prove to be the profitable trade? In typical Cramer fashion, his outlook is dramatic. He foresees another weak year for cryptocurrencies overall, with more pain ahead for battered crypto investors. However, his view on Bitcoin itself has shifted to guarded optimism, calling it a technological marvel that's here to stay, rotating out of high-flying tech. Cramer believes 2024 could see a major sector rotation unfolding in the stock market. Investors may cash out their big winnings in today's high-flying tech darlings, the so-called Magnificent Seven, in favor of more economically sensitive sectors. According to my crystal ball, people will take profits in the best of the best, as well as the richly valued software enterprise names, he said. I think investors will use that cash to invest in companies that haven't gotten any respect for ages. In the beginning of New Year's, this repositioning is common as investors reassess exposures and reallocate capital based on new outlooks for the economy. Of course, if high-growth tech companies start delivering strong earnings reports early in 2024, money could flow right back to them. For Cramer, the wild card is the Federal Reserve. He believes much of Wall Street's action will be dominated by attempts to predict the Fed's policy moves. Fear of a potential recession also lurks in the background. His advice for investors: don't get caught up trying to game the Fed. Instead, zero in on stocks with solid leadership and reasonable valuations. Wait for any broad market sell-offs in 2024 to pick up shares at better prices. A direct hit on crypto? While Cramer sees stocks as vulnerable to profit-taking after a strong 2022, his outlook for crypto in 2024 is unambiguously dreary. I predict another weak year for crypto, he posted on X. He then mused about the legions of crypto investors who could be left out in the cold after riding last year's hype wave. As I predict another weak year for crypto, I do ponder how many people are still involved. Now many millions of people, Cramer shared. This bleak forecast is consistent with Cramer's long-standing skepticism towards digital assets. In October 2022, he grabbed headlines by declaring he wanted no part of crypto with Mr. Bitcoin about to go down big. He also revealed he had sold much of his personal Bitcoin stash after China's mining industry crackdown in 2021. Cramer's latest crypto prediction flies in the face of steadily growing institutional adoption across the asset class. Major banks like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan are now onboarding clients for Bitcoin services. Mutual fund giant Fidelity even launched a crypto-focused venture capital arm. Yet in Cramer's eyes, the crypto winter still has a ways to go before any sustainable spring thaw arrives. If he's right, the few specimens left in the crypto wild may face extinction-level threats before any recovery blossoms. A surprise Bitcoin? Cramer may see the icy crypto tundra stretching through 2024, but he recently warmed up significantly towards one particular digital asset, Bitcoin. In a shock reversal, he called Bitcoin a technological marvel that's firmly here to stay. This enthusiasm contrasts sharply with dismissive comments he made during the FTX implosion. What changed his mind? The growing likelihood that the SEC approves a spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund in early 2023. Several Bitcoin ETF applications are gathering steam under newly appointed crypto-savvy SEC Chair Gary Gensler. This thing, you can't kill it, Cramer admitted about Bitcoin. It's a technological marvel, and I think people need to start recognizing it's here to stay. Cramer believes an SEC-approved, fully backed Bitcoin ETF would eliminate counterparty risk concerns that thus far kept regulators at bay. It would also open the floodgates for a wall of institutional money to access Bitcoin exposure through traditional brokerage accounts. However, he warned the ETF green light, if it comes, could trigger some selling activity around Bitcoin itself. A classic sell the news response. This makes sense since some institutional buyers may choose to front-run the ETF launch by selling Bitcoin purchased earlier at lower prices. So Cramer sees blue skies ahead for Bitcoin acceptance, but potential rain clouds in the short-term forecast around the ETF launch. The curious case of inverse Cramer. Cramer's tendency for making dramatic market calls has birthed a legendary contrarian investing phenomenon known as the inverse Cramer trade. When Cramer screams, sell, 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 the inverse playbook says you should run out and buy instead. The data shows betting against Cramer's hyperbolic predictions is often quite lucrative. One 2022 study, analyzing 10 years of Cramer's stock picks, found that simply buying stocks he forecasted to decline would have generated over a 25% annualized return. Doing the exact opposite of Cramer's recommendations delivered superior performance with less risk. His anti-crypto hostility and short-term Bitcoin pessimism raises a tempting inverse question. Should people now pile aggressively into crypto and Bitcoin instead for 2024? Some traders are already putting money behind the idea. Investment firm Tuttle launched an inverse Cramer ETF in October 2022 that bets against stocks Cramer bashes on his CNBC show. The fund uses natural language processing algorithms to analyze his on-air commentary. While not crypto-focused, riding inverse Cramer logic has led to early outperformance relative to the S&P 500 for the ETF. The gap between Cramer's crypto negativity and building adoption does suggest upside surprises could be in store for 2024. Then again, even a broken clock is right twice a day. With Cramer, past blow-ups like his declaration that Bear Stearns was fine days before its catastrophic collapse are etched in market history. Perhaps the safest line on his latest Bitcoin and crypto predictions is that they should be taken with a grain of salt. Cramer's impact on markets stems from his mass appeal to retail investors. His theatricality combined with actionable advice makes for infectious entertainment. He has that indefinable charisma that catalyzes viral trends long before social media took over the world. Academic studies validate the power of his messaging. Stocks highlighted on Mad Money commonly see next-day returns 9 times higher than the market average. One paper found a typical Cramer pump could lift a small-cap stock over 25% in 5 days. Much academic literature focuses on confirming its existence rather than profiting from it. Signals quickly diffuse across trading firms within milliseconds after he opens his mouth. Capturing even 1/10 of his alpha transmission for average investors is the financial equivalent of grabbing lightning in a bottle. Still, trade is going to trade, so predictive analytics keeps trying to crack the code. An entire ecosystem of data tools parses Cramer's every TV utterance into actionable signals for subscriber consumption. Trade with Jim, Mad Money Tracker, even the ubiquitous stock twits all offer interpretations of Cramer's market-moving musings. The problem? Cramer himself admits trying to piggyback on his picks mechanically usually won't work. Quality drilling down on context is required to exploit rather than be exploited by the Cramer effect. And with observers swearing Cramer moves markets just by raising an eyebrow, grabbing the alpha he leaves behind is certainly a non-trivial challenge. Will inverse Cramer strike again? Cramer's tendency for over-the-top market calls has led to the legendary inverse Cramer trading phenomenon. Could betting against Cramer's predictions lead to crypto gains in 2024? Let me know in the comments section. There you have it, Jim Cramer's bold crypto predictions for the year ahead. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to Digital Financial Freedom for more of analysis on Cramer and other big names shaping the future of the crypto markets.